and welcome to UpClose with TechGeeks. I'm Renakshi and I'm back with a brilliant episode that will work as a breath of fresh air for you guys. Considering that we've started looking for comfortability in everything that we do today, if we stop relying on modern tools and techniques, even for a day, we'll stop functioning. Gone are the days when we used to rely on bows and arrows to access our food. Today we can get it even at midnight. All we need to have is a good app on our phone. So since apps have become such an integral part of our lives, in today's episode, we have decided to talk about both native and hybrid app development. So without taking much of your time, let me introduce you guys to our guest for the day, the very talented Prateek Parekh. Prateek is a custom PHP developer. Welcome to the show, Prateek.
Thank you for having me on the show, Renakshi. I'm looking forward to talking to you.
Well, I'm also looking forward to having a wonderful session with you, Prateek. But before we proceed with that, let me also introduce our co-host for the day, Niyati, to our audience. Guys, today Niyati is going to join us on this conversation as a co-host, and she is a content writer. Welcome to the show, Niyati.
Thank you so much, Renakshi, for inviting me.
It's my pleasure, Niyati. By the way, have you been following this show?
Yes, Renakshi, trust me, I haven't missed a single episode. And yes, when you told me that Prateek was going to be the guest, I was super happy to co-host, since he is not only a very beautiful soul, but also one of the finest developers that we have.
I totally agree with you, Niyati. He's definitely one of the finest developers that we have today in our organization. So, Prateek, let's begin this conversation with this utterly imperative question, and that is, when we already have native technologies in place, why is that developers are opting more and more for hybrid app development these days?
It's a very interesting question, Renakshi. And the answer is, there are several reasons for that. The first and most important among them is hybrid apps use a single code base. These apps are preferred both by businesses and developers because of the simple fact that they can run on both Android and iOS. As a developer, I must emphasize that hybrid app development simplifies our life like anything. We don't have to build a separate codes for iOS and Android. The second benefit of opting a hybrid app development is low cost. A company can make huge savings by developing a one mobile application while addressing users on the different platforms. Now, if you are talking about specifically about an mobile app development company, they don't have to invest a lot in hiring the developers with the different skill sets. They are also simple to build and test. The team in question will reach the expected result faster because they don't deal with each platform separately. Since the code created once, it saves tremendous time. These apps are also easier to maintain. All the required changes and updates are maintained simultaneously on both platforms. Some of the issues get solved on server, so users get updates automatically.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Prateek, but when you say they are easier to maintain, does that mean that the users never face any technical problems with them?
By and large, that's correct, Niyati.
Okay.
Apart from that, hybrid apps can also be delivered quickly. So, to cut the long story short, hybrid apps are not only good for a company, but also good for its client.
If hybrid apps use a single code base, they're definitely a magic wand for developers.
Prateek, is there any performance difference between hybrid and native app development?
Well, Niyati, if you compare the native app development with the hybrid app development, native code is faster than JavaScript and HTML. So If developers are asked to build an intense graphical application such as games and the other animation applications, they generally go for native app development. Mobile browsers are coming closer to bridging the gap between this type of intense application using the WebGL specification. However, native has still advantage here.
Thank you, Pratik, for such a short and sweet answer.
You are welcome, Niyati.
Pratik, you've just mentioned that native code is faster than JavaScript and HTML. So, does that mean coding takes more time when developers opt for hybrid app development?
Well, Rinakshi, it's not that. When it comes to create a complex apps, native works more.
Okay. Alright, so that brings me to my next question, and that is Pratik, you have been developing apps for a couple of years now. So, what do you think is the secret of developing an app that gets noticed quickly?
Rinakshi, believe it or not, even I wanted to know that from Pratik.
Really? I'm so sorry, Niti, for stealing your question. You can go ahead, Pratik.
Well, Rinakshi and Niyati, to be honest, there is no fixed formula or secret for creating apps which gets noticed quickly. However, there are some basic things which should be considered while building an app, and the most important among them is validating your idea or the concept proofing. For example, you should ask yourself that is your app is going to provide or add some value to the lives of the people, and if you are convinced that it is going to provide some kind of solution to the people, then you should go ahead. The next thing you should do is identifying your target audience. Once you know your target audience, it helps to build an app accordingly. You should also do competitor research because it plays an important role in improving your app's quality. Apart from that, you should build it with great UI UX and the clean architecture. Pay attention to your users' feedback and promote it well.
Although you have told Pratik that there is no secret or formula, I would like to twist your statement and say that paying attention to the basics is one of the secrets of developing a good app. Isn't that true?
Yes, Niyati, that's kind of true.
Pratik, all the points that you've mentioned are utterly important. So, even if you miss one among them, I guess it will degrade the quality of the app.
So my next question to you is, which apps are more cost effective, hybrid or native?
The hybrid apps are cost effective in terms of development. The hybrid app development life cycle allows the developer to complete their requirements in the minimum time because of a single code base. Apart from that, they are both simple to build and test. On the other hand, the native apps are more expensive to build when aiming more than one platform. Also, if customer wants constant release minor changes, then it becomes costly. Moreover, developers have to update the app for all platforms individually.
I guess if a business wants to reach more people, they should opt for hybrid apps. Is that right, Pratik?
To an extent, that's true, Niyati.
Pratik, you've just mentioned that native apps are more expensive. So, does that play any role in reducing the demand in the market?
Not exactly, Rinakshi, because native technologies are meant for building the complex apps, which clearly means that they cater to the needs of the people in the specific market segment.
Okay, So, my next question to you, Pratik, is when a client comes with a query that they want to build an app for streamlining their business, do you also suggest them what kind of apps they should build?
Yes, Meenakshi, when they seek suggestions, we do suggest them.
Okay.
As a developer and a technical guy, if you want to build a personal app, what will you choose between native or hybrid apps?
Nice question, Niyati. As I am a technical guy, I know what technology I have to choose to build different kinds of mobile applications. But let me answer in general because it gives an idea to those people who want to build their mobile applications but don't know what technology they have to choose. First of all, choosing a technology totally depends on budget, time, and app size or complexity. I suggest hybrid app development technology for startups and small or medium scale businesses because it saves time and you don't even need more resources. Also, it is quite inexpensive when compared to the native app development.
Okay,
Well, guys, if you have a limited budget but you still want to reach more and more people, go for hybrid app. This brings me to the end of this conversation, but before I wrap it up completely, I would like to ask this one last question to you, Pratik, and that is, do you find it difficult to strike a perfect work-life balance?
Well, Linakshi, if I say no, it will be a blatant lie. So, the answer to your question is yes. I do find it a bit difficult to strike a perfect work life balance.
it was an honest answer, Pratik. To an extent, even I find it hard to strike a balance between my personal and professional life.
I totally agree with both of you on this. Even I fail to strike that perfect work-life balance. Well, guys, this eventually brings us to the end of this conversation. Niyati and Pratik, thank you very much for joining me on today's episode. It was wonderful talking to you guys.
It's my pleasure, Inakshi.
Thank you, Rinakshi. I enjoyed it a lot.
I also enjoyed talking to you, Niyati. Hope you guys have also enjoyed it. Stay tuned for yet another stunning episode next week. And if you don't want to miss any updates from us, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, bye bye.